On the internet, there seems to be an influx of people telling you to do a certain diet, whether it's carnivore, whether it's veganism, whether it's animal-based diet. There's also a lot of lies when it comes to fad diets. So in this video, I'm going to give you a tier list based on each of these fad diets. I'm going to give you the benefits and also the cons when it comes to these diets, and ultimately which one you should do. This is my first video on the channel, and any support is welcome. If you want to subscribe to me, it's completely free. If you want to like the video, it's completely free. If you want to comment, that also helps me a lot. And without further ado, we're going to get into the first one, and it's carnivore diet. In 2024, everyone was doing this diet. This diet got insanely popular, insanely quickly. And what I will say about carnivore is beneficial, but not for long. And the reason why I say this is because it's not beneficial for most people unless you're Jordan Peterson himself. And even if you are Jordan Peterson, I still wouldn't recommend you do it. On carnivore, you have to be eating a lot of organs. You have to be eating seafood for omega-3s, cod liver oil for vitamin A, etc. But the hard truth is, a lot of people aren't actually doing this when it comes to carnivore. And even if you are, it's really not a sustainable thing. You're going to get bored of it very quickly. Most people who are on carnivore are only eating beef, steak, and eggs. It's very easy to become malnutritioned on carnivore. But if you do it right, if you do it correctly, if you eat beef liver, if you eat beef heart, if you eat venison, beef, steak, eggs, dairy, etc. If you eat everything like that, then it's not that bad of a diet. But my question is to everyone who's on carnivore and everyone who's going to defend carnivore like it's their son in the comments, why would you not want to eat fruit? It's an amazing carbohydrate source. It's readily available all year. It's not prehistoric times where it's only seasonal. And the big argument that I see online is that it causes fat gain. People say that fruit was eaten seasonally to gain fat. You're not going to gain fat from fruit. That's just not going to happen. You would have to eat kilos of fruit to gain any fat. But if you can do it correctly and for a short time, I'm going to put it in cooking. If you plan to do this for a long time, I'm going to put it in could do better, because you could just eat fruit. But in the context of that you're going to do it for a short time, I'm going to put it in cooking, because it does actually heal a lot of conditions. It heals your gut very quickly. Whenever I went in carnivore, it healed my acne very quickly. But in my opinion, you just shouldn't do it for longer than 1 month or 2. But anyways, the next diet that we have here, and it's actually not even a diet, it's a way of eating. It's eating 80% clean and 20% not clean. If you actually stick to 80% clean and 20% not clean, you're going to be healthier than most people on the planet, but you're still not going to be healthy, because you're still consuming a lot of anti-nutrients, a lot of artificial sweeteners, unhealthy fat that you just shouldn't be ingesting into your body, very high levels of omega-6, and that's if you're following 80-20, because a lot of people who are on an 80-20 diet aren't actually on an 80-20 diet. They're on more like a 60-40 or a 40-60 sometimes. A lot of people's perception of what is healthy is completely flawed, and I think the reason for that is a lot of modern science is telling you that you can have junk food in moderation, and you can have bread every single day, you can have pasta every single day. These things just aren't healthy for you, especially wheat, and most grains aren't even digestible for humans. And chances are this diet is going to leave you fiending for carbs, because you're eating too many carbs in general. The more carbs you eat, the more you're going to want them, okay? So this is going to lead you to have more carb crashes, carb cravings, leading you to be more susceptible to sugar cravings, which in the long run is going to make you more unhealthy. Also, something I rarely see people talking about is that you're probably going to need to rely on supplements. If you're not eating at least 95% clean, there's no way you're going to get all your daily nutrients if you're eating 80% clean and 20% not clean, because the 20% that you're eating, for one, has anti-nutrients, which is going to block absorption of minerals like zinc and iron. You're most likely going to be nutrient deficient in something, so that means you need to take supplements. They're bad sources of whatever mineral, whatever vitamin you're trying to get. For example, calcium supplements. A lot of calcium supplements use low quality calcium, but there is one benefit when it comes to an 80-20 diet. If you're actually sticking to 80-20 and not doing 50-50 or 60-40, there is one benefit. You are going to be healthier than most people, because most people are close to eating 95% bad food. If you're actually sticking to 80-20, I don't think this is a fix this shit now. I think this is a could do better. It's okay, I guess. But a lot of people on the 80-20 diet aren't actually doing 80-20. They're more doing 60-40, sometimes even 40-60, sometimes even 30-70. If you're one of them people, I would put this shit and fix this shit now. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and put it in could do better. I'm going to assume that you're doing 80-20. The next one is definitely not going to be anywhere up here, and it's being vegan. This is the vegan teacher if you didn't know. Being vegan is probably the worst thing you could possibly do for your health. If you just think about it, in ancestry, in history, in prehistoric human times, we did not just eat plants. This is the most millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha thing in the world. Basically, as soon as you become vegan, you're in danger. Your body needs to get nutrients from animals. Your body needs to have all amino acids, also known as complete proteins. There's certain nutrients that you can't get from plants that you can only get from animal products. So as soon as you turn vegan, you're putting yourself in danger for nutritional deficiencies. Not to mention, you'll be eating an insane amount of phytic acid, leptins, oxalates, things that just disrupt your gut, your hormones, causing more inflammation, causing more acne, causing more rosacea. If you have joint pain or other problems, it's going to worsen that as well. The minerals that you're getting from the plants aren't actually going to be absorbed either. They're going to prevent the absorption of minerals. So say a certain nut is high in a certain mineral, the phytic acid in that nut is going to block that mineral from being absorbed anyway. So there's basically no point of eating that nut. The omega-3s in nuts and chia seeds, like everyone says that chia seeds are super high in omega-3, walnuts are super high in omega-3. First of all, walnuts are also super high in omega-6, but the omega-3 in nuts and chia seeds, etc., can't actually be absorbed. The type of omega-3 in nuts and chia seeds is called ALA, which is not bioavailable and it's not going to be completely absorbed into your body. It's not going to be absorbed near as much as EPA or DHA found in seafood. So all that omega-3 that you're getting from the chia seeds and walnuts is really not going to be absorbed that much. But on top of all of that, everything I just said right there, you're also not going to look healthy either. And do not believe a vegan when it comes to Instagram, because filters exist. You guys probably already knew where I was going to put this diet. It's going to go in malnutrition, because you are literally malnutritioned and you're probably woke like this woman right here. I actually made this whole take just for veganism. But the next diet right here is eating a diet mainly of junk food, seed oils, sugar, fast food, etc, etc, right? And what I will say about this diet, immediately better than being vegan, because you're at least getting meat. Even if it isn't the highest quality meat, you're still getting nutrients from the meat. Even if it's from McDonald's, even if it's from KFC chicken, you're still getting nutrients from the meat. It's not going to be good for you at all, but it's going to be better than being vegan. But aside from that, you're going to have mass amounts of seed oils, artificial flavors, artificial sugars, terrible macros. You're going to have way too high carbs and way too low protein and way too high unhealthy fat. And if you didn't know, sometimes seed oils actually take years to flush out of your system. So you could have these in your system for 2 years, 3 years. Anyone you come across is going to be horrified by how bad you smell because of the amount of oil that you're eating. And this food just does not smell good either, so it's going to leach onto your clothes. Like, the more this sits in your room, the more you bring this into your room and eat it like a fat ass, the more it's going to stick to your clothing and the more it's going to stick to your body odor. And here's a very interesting fact that I recently found out about eating a diet high in omega-6, also known as just eating this diet. You're far more susceptible to sunburn because you have no omega-3. Omega-6 is basically just causing inflammation in your body, which makes you more susceptible to inflammation from the sun. But if you have a balance of omega-6 and omega-3, you're going to be chilling in the sun. You can be in the sun for hours and not burn. For example, I was in the sun 3 or 4 days ago. For 3 hours, I did not burn. And finally, eating junk food makes you unattractive very, very quickly. There's been times in my life where I've went 3 or 4 days eating strictly McDonald's, KFC, and I could see myself getting more and more unattractive as the days went on. But regardless of all of that, it's still going to be better than being vegan, because at least you're getting meat sources, you're getting animal products. Even if it is very low quality cheese, even if it is conventional McDonald's beef, it's still going to be far healthier than just eating plants. But that does not mean that you eat this diet, so I was going to go and fix this shit right now. Okay, so this next one, I think this is going to cause a little bit of controversy in my comment section, because either people are going to agree with this or they're really not going to agree with it at all. This diet is a balanced diet, and the reason why I have a doctor here is because your average doctor usually recommends that you eat this diet. And just like this one, just like 80-20, if you're actually doing 80-20, you're going to be far healthier than most people. You're definitely going to be healthier than the vegan, definitely going to be healthier than eating junk food 24/7. But the problem is, you're not as healthy as you can be. And the reason for that is a lot of balanced diets include grains. Well, basically all balanced diets include whole grains. And the problem with that is, obviously you have anti-nutrients, but the main problem I see with balanced diets is that gluten and grains are consumed in mass amounts on this diet. It's supposed to be animals that eat grains, and not even all animals are supposed to be eating grains, because humans can't actually digest them properly. And while most people aren't technically gluten intolerant, the mass amount of people have problems when it comes to eating gluten. They just don't know it. It's disrupting their gut. It's causing the acne that they have in their face. They just don't know that yet. Another major flaw when it comes to this diet is that protein sources, especially animal products, are just super low in this diet. It's a super low amount of animal products in this diet. And I really don't know the reason for this. Like, humans need protein, they need a lot of protein, at least 1 gram per pound. The recommended daily value of protein is ridiculous, and for some reason people seem to be scared of eating red meat. Like, red meat is a necessity in a diet. I don't know why people who are on a balanced diet are so scared of eating red meat every single day. And also something that stems from this fear of red meat, opting for low fat foods like low fat Greek yogurt, lean meats, margarine. You need to have a lot of fat in your diet, and I don't mean fat from canola oil or seed oils. I mean fat from mainly animal products. If you're eating beef, get 80-20 beef. Don't get 95-5 beef. It doesn't make sense. Whenever we would eat the animal in prehistoric times, we did not strip the fat from the animal. And usually because you don't have enough fat, because you're opting for low fat foods, you're going to have very low energy and you're going to have a lot of carb crashes because your diet mainly consists of whole grains. Fat is what makes up your skin cells. Fat is what gives you energy. You need to have fat. Stop limiting it. Only limit fat from seed oils and other unhealthy sources. Not from red meat, not from eggs, not from cheese, not from full fat milk. And once again, you're probably going to have to rely on supplements because you're not eating enough animal products, because your diet mainly consists of phytic acid from whole grains. But if you're not eating junk food when it comes to this diet and you're strictly eating grains, vegetables, meat and dairy products, I'm going to put the balanced diet in just above 80-20 because you're not eating any junk food on this diet. So it's automatically going to be better than eating this, okay? And it's definitely going to be better than eating these two. Last but not least, I've kept this to the end for a reason, because this one is the best one, and I'm going to tell you why right now. To start the pros, you're getting a lot of red meat, a lot of seafood, a lot of animal products, a lot of fruit, a lot of raw honey, foods that are just extremely beneficial to your health in becoming a peak human being. And that applies to basically anything that you do in your life. If you're a sports athlete, if you're a bodybuilder, if you run a business, if you eat this diet, you're going to be on top of your game 24/7. You're very rarely going to have a carb crash because you're not consuming that many carbs, and the carbs that you are eating are natural sources of carbs. Foods that were here thousands of years ago. All the foods that you're going to be eating on this diet are all bioavailable. All the proteins you're going to be eating are also complete proteins. Also, this diet provides minimal anti-nutrients, which means you're going to absorb all the minerals that you get from this food, which is something that you can't say for all the diets, here. And also, against popular belief, this is actually going to be cheaper than most of these diets right here. The only reason why you think this is expensive is because you're trying to get the best possible sources of each food. You're trying to get organic blueberries, grass-fed, grass-finished, organic beef. All these things are just very expensive. You can just go to your store and get normal conventional beef, and it's going to be far healthier than any of these diets right here. You don't actually have to get organic and grass-fed. Now, should you do that? Yes. I recommend that you should get grass-fed, grass-finished, organic beef, organic blueberries, etc. But if you genuinely can't, just get the normal variants of each food. In my opinion, this is the best diet for physical health, for bodybuilding, for playing sports, for peak performance in your business, for having a clear mind, having no brain fog. This is the best diet for that, in my opinion. Quite often people also comment on the fact that I just look so healthy, and that's something that I never got being on Carnivore. That's something I never got being on 80-20 or being on a balanced diet, and definitely not on a junk food diet. It's very hard to actually feel good on a diet, and this is the only diet so far that I've been on that has actually done that for me. Now, my diet is slightly different to this Paul Saladino animal-based diet, okay? And in my next video, it's going to be about what diet you should do. And this is coming from my experience where I've tampered with my diet for the past year to find out what really works and to save you the time of bouncing through all these diets and doing trial and error, etc. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some knowledge from this video, and I hope you take into what I've said into consideration, okay? Once again, this is my first video on the channel. Any subscriptions are so welcome. They are free. Any likes are welcome. Any comments, give me your thoughts down below, or just say nice video in the comments. It helps me. I really want to do this full time, and without y'all's help I can't do that. So if there's any videos that you want me to do, drop them in the comments and I'll take it into consideration. But see y'all in the next video. Peace.